Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. Today is October 22nd, 2018. Can I have a roll call, please?
Missouri? Here. Basil?
Here.
Whalen?
Here.
Capros?
Here.
Meyer? Here. Kraus?
Here.
We have the minutes of October 9th. Are there any changes? If not, is there a motion?
So move.
There's a motion made. There is a second. Any questions of the motion? Roll call.
Missouri? Yes. Basil?
Yes.
Whalen?
Yes.
Capros?
Yes.
Meyer? Yes. Kraus?
Yes.
Clerk's report.
The tax income received since September 24th totals $239,118.31. I also wanted to report that Deputy Clerk Patty Meyer has been taking a building permit technician certification course. It consists of four-hour online courses and a final test. And the course was offered free of charge by Safe Build Inspections to help her and other building permit support staff understand the entire building permit process and the reasons and regulations behind the process. Jordan, who is an employee of Safe Build, who actually lives in Peatone, she's been doing the classes here with Patty in the Village Hall, and they'll be completing their training on Wednesday. The other thing I wanted to mention is election packets are available for pickup here at the Village Hall for the April 2nd, 2019 election. There's 3 village trustee seats up for election next April.
Anyone from the audience wish to address the board? If not, we have some police awards, Chief.
Yes. Okay. Okay, if I could have Corporal DeCourt and Officer Mazurek up here. And I'd just like to say that, I've been here for, going about 6 months, and I have to say there's not a lot of crime here, but there is no magic bubble over Beecher, and the men and women, they put themselves at risk every day they go out there. And I just want to say, great job, guys. This is something else. So, I'll read this, and then it applies to both of you, and I won't say about the same thing. So, this is a certificate of commendation. It's awarded to Corporal Aaron DeCourt and also to Officer Ron Mazurek. On August 5th, 2018, you and Officer Ron Mazurek conducted a traffic stop on a motorist suspected of driving under the influence of alcohol. Excuse me. During the pat-down of the driver, you located a loaded 9mm magazine. Through further investigation, you recovered a Taurus 9mm handgun from the passenger side floorboard. I hereby commend you for your efforts in getting an intoxicated motorist off the street, as well as recovering an illegal handgun that was used in a crime in Chicago. A little bit further on that, the gun was used in a crime in Chicago. It's an aggravated battery. Subject was pursued allegedly threw the gun out the window. Somehow this guy recovered it, and then these guys got it away. So good job, guys. Speech? Speech?
Speech.
Good job, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Good job.
Congratulations.
This thing is over.
That's right. Good job, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chief. Finance and Administration, please, Trustee Bates.
No report.
Public Buildings and Properties, Parks and Recreation, Trustee Lehman.
No report.
Planning, Building, and Zoning Committees, Trustee Reserve.
Building Department monthly report is closed for your review, and we have our meeting this Thursday here at the Village Hall at 7. We're having a hearing on the crematorium, and we're going to talk about the comprehensive plan for that's all I have.
Public Safety Committee, Trustee Crowe.
Thank you, Mayor. The police and code monthly report are enclosed for your review. Any questions on anything in there? Status of part-time and full-time police officer hiring. We had the full-time hiring test Sunday, Monday? Sunday, so it was yesterday. We had 12 pull applications, 12 showed up, 2 failed the physical, so I ended up being 10 taking the written test. So I should get the results, they said about a week, so probably sometime the end of this week, beginning of next week, I will get the results from that. And then we'll go from there and we'll set up our, the next step will be the oral exams, so we'll set that up.
They need a 70 to pass the written, right?
Correct.
So of those that get 70 or higher, then you're going to rank those based on the orals.
It's, well, they'll have their written score, they'll have their oral score, and then that'll be cumulative.
Oh, that's
to get
correct.
To get their final score from that, and then the rankings will come out, which will be posted. But yeah, but that's.
But they have to get a 70 in order to go.
Yes,
through
they have to get a 70 on the written test just to pass. If they don't get a 70, then they're precluded from the rest of the testing process. So the max we can have is 10. If someone fails a written, it'll be less than that. You know, it's a little less than I was hoping to come out, but from what the testing agency told me, numbers just everywhere are down. There was one town, I won't say the name, but it's a little south and east of us. It's 3 times our size. They had 4 people pull applications, 3 people show up for the test. So for us to get a dozen first time out, it's not bad. It's just the way things are nowadays. The part-time, we have a committee meeting tomorrow to go over that, and we'll get that going. We anticipate doing those oral interviews sometime probably the very beginning of next month. We'll try to set something up. The SRO, myself and the chief, we have a meeting with the superintendent and the high school principal next week. Yes. So we're gonna meet with them, basically just to get a gauge where the school board's at, what they are looking for and what they want. Fire inspection program, I did talk to the fire chief last week. It's something they're looking to start beginning of next year. So we'll have to set a committee meeting, myself and Trustee Wheeling, to sit down with them, figure out the details, what they're exactly looking for. I did get your email that said some of the information they want to get, they're looking for. We'll set a committee meeting to figure all those details out. And then chief, the results of the fraud seminar. I'm sorry, that fraud seminar you had with the skimmers and.
Yeah, we put up a meeting together for a crime prevention meeting for all the business owners in town that wanted to attend, especially the gas stations and the banks. So we covered the skimmers, the skimmer devices, which, if some of you know that the skimmer was replaced on the gas station, the Shell gas station on Church Road. There was 113 victims that became out of that. We've been working with the Secret Service. The Secret Service has one subject in custody in Pennsylvania. Our state attorney here in Will County does not want to prosecute at this time, so we're continuing the investigation because he has charges locally there in Pennsylvania. But as far as our charges, we need a little bit more to prove. The Secret Service downloaded everything that was off the skimmer. The only problem is that the whole thing's in Spanish. So we're going to have to get a translator for that, reapproach the state attorney, hopefully get charges of our own for those people out there. Like I said, we did counterfeit money for some of the other businesses. We talked about some of the current elderly ruses that are out there, and it was in good attendance. We had about 20 people there, and we just want to thank the Midland Bank for hosting it because it was definitely a large enough area. We had a good PowerPoint. We had 3 different instructors, Lieutenant Emerson, we had Dennis, and Leroy. So it's a good time.
And there has been an uptick in some of that stuff with fraudulent checks and skimmers and stuff in town, so that's.
Oh, yep, we had some other cases at Midland Bank we were working on still. There's a ring that was hitting us there. So.
And then the open house for the PD and the FD was last Friday. The really good weather. Was it 2 Fridays?
Yeah, Friday.
ago?
2 weeks ago.
I wasn't able to make it, but from what I heard, besides the weather, it was a pretty good
It
turnout.
was a good turnout. It was raining, held a lot of people inside because they had a lot of like jumpies and they had a lot of squad car displays that really we couldn't use. But I'd say there was maybe a couple hundred people there, just all jammed inside there.
Thanks. Then, like I said before, the public safety meeting's tomorrow at 7 p.m. in the Village Hall. And then for the full-time testing, I forgot to mention, thank you to the fire department. They allowed us to use their facility for the orientation, the physical part of the test, and then the written portion of the test also. So thank you to Chief and to the fire department for letting us use their facility. facilities. That's in my report.
Okay, what are trick or treat hours, just to remind everybody?
Yeah, let's see.
4 to 7.
Question.
No, I thought it was like a half hour odd, it was like an odd time, wasn't it?
No, it's 4 to
47.
7. It's 4 to 7.
4-7,
On Wednesday. Yeah.
I gotta decorate my squad, I'm gonna decorate this year, so.
Public Works Committee, trustee Capers.
Water and sewer monthly, reports are enclosed for your review. Beecher wastewater treatment plant update.
We got another 600,000 from the EPA today, so it's gonna allow us to pay last month's bill that you approved. But we don't pay that until the EPA pays us, but the EPA won't pay us to approve their bill, so it's kind of a catch-22, and we got that coming up later, the next payment. But the progress is going well, the weather has been cooperating, and they're on target, on schedule.
Dunbar water main, project's basically complete, restoration's begun. Matt, how did things go with Bisping?
Good, well,
New contractor?
yeah, everything seemed to go well.
Okay, good.
When is Penfield gonna open? Do we have an idea? It's
Uh,
still closed.
Potentially later this week or early next week.
Okay.
So they're still using that area for some storage stuff, so might be a couple days yet.
Fall leaf pickup date, do we got a date of a?
We're gonna make our first round tomorrow with our new machine, so we'll see how that goes, and we'll probably end up having to make another trip out towards the end of the week. So.
Okay, and we're still doing brush.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we didn't get done with brush today, just we picked up 3 loads, and didn't even get Easter route 1 much, so
Yeah.
we're pretty heavy right now with that.
Storm damage.
Yeah, all storm damage, yeah.
Penfield STP public meeting for November 7th at 7 PM, that'll be here at the Village Hall. Letters went out on that, right?
Yep, everyone in Penfield should have received notice. You should have gotten one too.
I did.
Now I need a motion to approve, progress payment to IHC Construction for payment 2 for the wastewater, treatment plant project in the amount of $336,178.64. So I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions on the motion? Roll call.
Kraus,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Capros,
Yes.
Whalen,
Yes.
Basil,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Consider a new drug and alcohol policy for public works employees. It's in there, this is basically just an update, it's the newest legal revision of everything we're already doing. It's, I think it's just, procedural. So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve, the new drug and alcohol policy for public works employees.
The motion made, is there a second?
Second.
There's a second, any questions on the motion? Roll call.
Missouri,
Yes.
Basil,
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Capros.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
And last, Public Works will be having a committee meeting, this Wednesday, on the 24th, 7 p.m.
Big agenda.
Big agenda.
I'm sure it won't be as short as this meeting.
Winter prep, no.
Economic Development Community Relations Committee, trustee member.
Fall newsletter was mailed October 11th, and it seems like a lot of people have received it. There's been some comments on Facebook, so people are reading it. Guest speaker update. After the last meeting, trustee Kaporis and I went to Chamber of Commerce meeting. We were not on the agenda, but we were able to give the village report. And trustee Kaporis gave a very passionate speech about what we would like to do with the speaker. And it was pretty well received. Most of the people there were very, very positive about it. We weren't on the agenda, so there wasn't too much else that was gonna go on, but it was a good meeting. Since then, I've had contact with, we had a tentative date of November 14th, which I don't think we're gonna be able to do anything with. This particular speaker has some pretty intense audiovisual needs, and the only place we could get that kind of equipment is the school. We've discussed possibly the golf course. Some of the people at the school said the golf course is not out of the question, they could maybe transport equipment. But I just heard this morning that the project or the screen they would need, the only place they have anything the size that he needs is in the library, and it's attached to the ceiling, so there's a lot of things, they don't know if they have the wireless lavaliers that he needs, and we're kind of going back and forth about equipment, but the school district superintendent is very interested in taking part of this. It's just trying to put all the moving parts together of getting a place and getting the equipment, and is a little bit assuming.
I got another idea on that.
Okay. I even kind of went back this morning and says, you know, how many people could you fit in the school library if there were no tables, if you just put chairs up? You know, with tables, I know they don't have a lot of capacity, but I'm thinking if you just filled it with chairs, you might be able to fit quite a few people in there without having to move equipment all over the place.
Was that the high school?
junior
The high school, yeah.
The high school library?
Mm-hmm. And that way you don't
Junior
have
high
to,
school is pretty big too.
is it, I've never been over to that one.
Bigger.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, that's why I was wondering which library had the screen.
I think accommodate the junior high school bigger.
Okay. Yeah, and
But they may not have that projector.
Yeah, if they don't have a screen, it doesn't matter. I mean, the high school, I've been in there when there's been like probably 50, 60 people in there,
mm-hmm.
so.
I've been in there when they had things where it was just the tables were gone and they had chairs lined up and they, you know, there were quite a few chairs in there, but I don't know that there's enough for, you know, what we're looking for. Considering golf course has capacity for 180 or so.
What are you anticipating as far as numbers?
It depends. A lot of moving parts. So if we were to pretty much open it up to chamber, fire district, school district, Moni may or may not have been interested for their trustees, people like that. Probably 150 people easily we could fill, especially if we announced it to the community. Reserve seats for people who were participating financially first. Second, other people in the community like the school district. Their school board voted down a financial contribution. However, if they're ponying up and coming up with all the audio-visual equipment, that's still a significant contribution. If it was something, if we can't get it done in the next several weeks, if there isn't a place for it or time for it, then we're probably gonna be into after the holidays into spring. Then you might have time to promote it to the entire community and you'd be talking about a bigger event. But I'm thinking probably the 150 to 200 is probably pretty easily done. In the chamber members, etc. So I will update you as I get more information. Quiet zone update?
Just received confirmation today that we have a meeting set up on November 16th with all the parties concerned with the feds, the state, engineers, and so on and so forth to go over the plan.
The time is moved from 1 p.m.
We'll keep you informed.
Is that just a planning meeting or?
It's to go over the original plan that the engineers submitted.
And the feds are coming out to look at the crossing, to make it
So
so
the Federal Railway Administration, the Interstate Commerce Commission, and then the engineer and us.
Sesquicentennial update, they're going to begin ad sales. They're still working on the historical booklet. And
Does the committee approve of the procedure for selling the ads? It's very similar to what we do for
the newsletter.
newsletter.
Yep. So, it's okay with you too, Frank? Whatever, yes,
We wanna start getting the ad sales done early, so when they go to publish the book, I've got the money,
right.
you know, that was. the
Yeah, I
key.
saw that sample thing was dated January maybe.
Yeah, and then they
right
wanna
after holidays.
editorialize on the ads till they meet the theme of the book, so it's gonna take a while with that group, so.
Yeah.
I wanna get the ad sales going early, cause I remember '95.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What did they come up with what they thought the final cost on the booklet itself?
10,000.
10,000, all right, so,
And we have plenty of ad space to make.
to be able to make the money for it,
So it shouldn't cost us anything.
okay. Alrighty, that's all I have to report.
Apparently our meeting falls on December 24th this year. Would somebody like to make a motion to cancel that meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Third?
This whole side, I'm the only one that has said anything yet.
All seconded.
Any questions?
Kraus?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Gross?
Yes.
Whalen?
Yes.
Basil?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Any old business coming before the board? Any new business coming before the
Just
board?
one item, we will have two meetings in November. Because it's a Monday after Thanksgiving, so you'll have your holiday weekend, but then we'll have a meeting with the following. So your packets will come out on Wednesday.
Maybe I should do that meeting after Monday.
Want to do packets?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Questions? Roll call.
Fisher?
Yes.
Basil?
Yes.
Whalen?
Yes.
Gross?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Kraus?
everybody.